Hello everyone. My name is Elena, Head of Communications here at Byteball. And today we're bringing you yet another interview with a core team member. And today it's Casper Niebe, User Acquisition Manager at Byteball. Please welcome Casper. Casper, hi.
Hi, Elena.
Glad to see you again.
Thrilled to be here.
Yeah. Such a great podcast with a huge audience. Anyway, so Casper is based in Copenhagen, Denmark. He actually refers to himself as a digital creative with firm sense of discovering new potential and with long-like drive and infectious motivations to explore technological possibilities. Whoa, I'm impressed, and I had to read it because I cannot possibly remember it this fast. Also Casper describes Byteball as, and likes to refer to Byteball as a huge box of Legos, but we'll come to this one later. And now let's start down to business. So Casper, for those who are on Slack or Telegram, in our community, they obviously know you because you're the guy who helps them out usually. But for the people who don't quite know you, can you please tell briefly who you are and what's your background?
Yeah, of course. First of all, thanks for doing this interview here. My name is Casper, as you already said. I'm 41 years old, have a wife and a daughter, and I've always been fascinated with computers, and particularly the possibilities you have with computers and technology in general. I was thrilled by the very early days of the internet. I saw the potential that the connectivity between computers actually had. Obviously, my parents didn't understand while I spent 10 minutes creating a modem connection to a university to only to see the weather forecast. And my parents were like, you could just put your head out the window and look how the weather was. But I saw from the very early start that this internet had potential. And to some extent, I actually see the same potential or the same characteristics in the world of cryptocurrency and crypto projects, because I think it's important to make the distinction that cryptocurrencies and crypto projects are two entirely different things. And I definitely see Byteball as a crypto project. And that's also the reason I like to refer to Byteball as a box of Legos, because where other projects usually have the design of the models, and that's the white papers. What Byteball did was actually to create the bricks of Lego and then put it in the hands of people. But I guess we'll come back to that later on in the interview.
Yeah, you already answered a couple of my next questions.
Okay.
My question was basically how you get started involved with Byteball, how you find out about it, and why you was interested. So
yeah, that's actually it's quite a long story really, but I'll try to answer briefly. A friend of mine was into crypto back in 2014, and he invested in a project that turned out to be a complete failure. I won't name any names here, but he sent me a bunch of those coins. And then in 2017, in December and January of 2018, those coins, because of the explosion in Bitcoin's value, those coins were actually starting to be worth something. And then I started to look into crypto, and I came across this project called Byteball on a forum online, and I started to look into the project and to read the white paper, and I followed a couple of the discussions, and then I downloaded the wallet, and I immediately noticed that I was able to actually choose Danish language for the wallet. I also quite fast realized that it was a machine translation. So the language was completely rubbish.
Rubbish.
So yeah, so I joined the translation project initially and translated the wallet into Danish, and I then started looking into a couple of the other Scandinavian languages. Danish, Norwegian, and Swedish look and sound quite similar, and I could see that those were machine translated as well. So I then decided to offer my help as running the translation projects, and one thing led to the other, and here I am today. It's been a super thrilling ride, really a pleasure.
Wonderful, and also probably it's worth pointing out that you're still with Byteball, you're involved part-time, and you're keeping your full-time job. So your multitasking skills are definitely. I pointed out it before before their interview, but they're extraordinary. So and yeah, again, everyone who is on Slack and Telegram probably can witness for it. So.
They probably know me as Punctured on Slack and Telegram and on Steam as well.
Yes.
I do a couple of articles for our profile on Steam as well.
Yeah, we'll come to Steam a little bit later, but I wanted to start with the very first idea, well, one of the first ideas that you actually brought in to Byteball. You generally, apart from helping out everyone in the community, you're quite known for creative initiatives, and not just bringing them in, but actually putting them in work and implementing them. So yeah, the first project was Userthon. So and the very first Userthon happened this summer in Venezuela. So can you please elaborate a little bit on the initiative and how it's all started?
Yeah, I very early on realized that Byteball had these characteristics like Legos, and we had all these fantastic pieces of Legos, but we needed to create the models, and along with a couple of other users from Slack, we talked about how do we get the users to actually build models with all these different actually it's just the features of Byteball, but how do we put it to good use, and what does it take for us to be able to spot the potential that these features of the platform is actually capable of solving. And we talked about initially a hackathon, but where a hackathon is usually primarily aimed at creating new features, we realized that we had all these features that we wanted to explore the use of. So we came up, me and a user called Slackshore and Serial from Slack, we came up with the idea of a userthon. And through some of all these, I had at that point gathered a team of translators, and most of those had university educations or worked as translators professionally. And through one of these translators, we were able to get in touch with a university in Venezuela, and we wrote back and forth with them, and we basically made up the concept as we went. We had this overall goal to see how can this platform be used, but we didn't really have any concrete framework for how the contest should be run. So we had to invent everything as we progressed.
On the go.
And it turned out to be quite successful, and it was extremely rewarding to me personally and emotionally, because it turned out to be a lot more of a thing really to the Venezuelan people than I initially thought. We basically set out to provide use cases, but it turned out we actually, through the contest and the initial distribution of bytes to all students at the university, we actually made a significant difference to a lot of people's lives. And I think this is actually one of the very, very important things that crypto can do. It can make a difference in people's lives. it makes a difference to how we run businesses in the world today. I'm absolutely positive that there will be a bunch of use cases still not discovered where crypto projects will prove to be the perfect fit. Right now, we're kind of in an era where everyone is trying to force crypto projects on top of existing business models or use cases. And I believe the real breakthrough will come when we invent new problems that the crypto platforms is able to solve.
Yeah, and looking from different perspectives is actually very helpful, because probably being in Europe, where traditional economy functions quite well, we are just not able to see some possibilities which are obvious in Venezuela and other less fortunate countries at the moment. Yeah, so
exactly.
Can you probably tell a little bit more about the projects that came out of the first users fund?
Yes, actually, there's one in particular that I would like to explain and tell a little about. It's not fully realized yet, but the concept is that in Venezuela, everyone knows the financial situation is catastrophic. The country is in really deep trouble, and the people of Venezuela are starving. And because of that, the universities, the institutions that are going to foster the people who are going to bring the country into the future, they are experiencing a 60% dropout of students because they have to quit their studies to get a job to earn as little as $5 or $10 a month. So one of the use cases suggested that a platform was created where external donors, donors from other countries, family members even, could donate that same amount of US dollars. It's to a Western world citizen, it's not really a lot, but to the Venezuelan student, it could mean that
it makes a difference.
Exactly. If they get that $5, they are able to stay in school and to complete their education. So, of course, we need some way to control this, and the Byteball platform is actually a perfect fit. So, by devising an oracle that taps into the student system and reads the data of which students are enrolled for the next semester and which student passes their exams, we can base or make a conditional payment saying that the donation for you as a student will only be yours if you complete your trimester, you pass all your exams, and you enroll for the next trimester. And this, of course, requires some cooperation with the university. We are currently working in collaboration with the university to get access to the student systems. And hopefully within a few weeks, we have all the necessary permits and acceptance of, because all universities are government run in Venezuela. So we need all those permits and confirmations from everyone. So that's just one of the use cases. There's a bunch of other use cases also in the making, providing increased safety to people when traveling with buses. There's another use case allowing teachers at universities to be rewarded for their achievements, etc., etc. So it proved that the use cases that they were able to come up with locally, and there's no way I would have ever been able to come up with that. Those use cases are super relevant to those people locally, and the Byteball platform is a perfect fit for that.
Yeah, it's not the very first time I hear about these use cases, but it still sounds quite exciting. You haven't mentioned also a capybara exchange project. That's just because of the name, it's ultimately my favorite.
Yeah, the capybara exchange. Initially, when I first saw it, I had no idea what a capybara was. I then learned that it was basically a huge hamster. It was quite funny, but the use case actually just provides an easy and comfortable and trusted way for merchants and users in Venezuela to exchange their local current fiat currency into bytes and the other way around. So merchants accepting bytes as a payment can easily exchange them to their local currency called bolivars.
Yeah, so all this is just the outcome of very first user-thon that we held in Venezuela. But moving on, yet another initiative that actually has grown quite big, that's building a bridge between Byteball and Steam platform that, well, actually was an airdrop and yet another new attestation method combined. And altogether, it resulted in 70,000 new users being introduced to Byteball platform. And currently, we are holding yet another user-thon for Steamians. So can you please tell us a little bit more how that is going and what's the results in there?
Yeah, I have to say the initial idea of an integration with the Steam platform wasn't mine. But there's a lot of active Steam users who are also Byteball users and actively developing for the Byteball platform, and therefore we had sort of all the bits and pieces that we needed to do an airdrop. Again, the central point here is that it has to be to an online community, a community of users who are creative, who are actively producing stuff, because simply doing an airdrop to users who are just going to sell, obviously a lot of users aren't just going to sell, but some users will actually catch on and provide new use cases, and that's why that's the reason that we initiated the second user-thon aimed at all the Steam users, because one thing is just to raise awareness by distributing a lot of free money. Another is to actually create value, not to me or to you or to Byteball as a platform, but to people in general. And to do that, we need use cases. And with a lot of bytes in circulation between Steam users, it was quite a no-brainer really to start a new contest and see what are people able to come up with. Because with the new attestation possibility, it became possible to integrate the Byteball wallet with the Steam blockchain and the other way around as well. So we wanted to explore what are the possibilities. And just like with the Venezuelan user-thon, we had no idea in advance what is actually possible. We wanted the people knowing about the Steam blockchain to explore and to experiment with the Byteball platform. So again, we are taking an approach where we think we know everything about the Byteball platform, and of course we do, but we don't know particularly much about the platform we integrated with. So to have the external users, all the new Byteball users, learn the Byteball platform and experiment with the base in the knowledge that they have from the Steam platform, it creates this synergy. And there's already quite a few interesting projects. And I won't go into too much detail because
probably we're running out of time, and we can dedicate yet another video.
I could go on for hours about this, so I know I have to.
Believe me, I know that. That's why I warned you in the very beginning about our time frame. So what's coming next? What's the future plans for user-thons?
Oh,
I know that.
I wish I knew, but I don't know exactly. There's definitely more things to come, and we're constantly looking for new possibilities, new approaches. It has to be focused on exploring use cases, exploring new ways to have this amazing platform solve new problems, and we don't tell ourselves that we know all the problems in the world. So to have people come with their problems and say, hey, do you think this can be solved using the Byteball platform? We'd love to explore the possibility of solving real-world problems with the platform. So I can't say there's coming this and that, and the third thing, but there's definitely more to come. And I highly encourage everyone to suggest new ways of exploring the potential of the platform, or to suggest new ways of engaging existing creative communities. So that's as much as I know myself. I'm pretty much a one step at a time guy. When I know there's a long journey ahead, I start by taking the first step. And I think that's what most actually refrain from doing. Simply just take the first step, see where does this lead us, and which possibilities does that open, and then take the next step, and then the next, and then the next. And sooner or later, you'll find that you've been on an amazing journey, all made up of one step at a time. And that's the approach we're taking right now.
Yeah, and also the general direction is the general purpose to engage as many people with different background and different ideas and different problems as possible, and give them those pieces of Legos and enable them to build whatever it could be by themselves. So, yeah, okay. I guess on this note, it's time to wrap it up. Thank you very much, Casper, for your time.
And if I can just say one last thing, if anyone have any suggestions or ideas, please get in touch with me either on Slack or on Telegram. You can even find me on the website as well. Just get in touch with me. I'd love to hear more suggestions or creative ideas.
Exactly. If you manage to watch it till the very end, and if you hopefully this interview made you think of something, please get in touch with Casper and Slack. It's really hard not to find them if you're in the community. So yeah, contact Fineshard and keep in touch.
Yeah, I will definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Casper. Have a great day.